In this video, I'm going to be bracketing my shots. Join me. Roll titles. Well, hi YouTube, Brian James at Micro Four Thirds Guy with you once again, and a very quick video today because I'm stuck in the middle of Carlisle. I'm just about to do a gig this evening, and I'm responding to a comment that I had made on my my video about exposing to the right. We got on the subject on a private email of bracketing, and yes, I do bracket. I thought I'd just tell you about what I do because I don't, as I say, I don't do the expose to the right. But there are certain scenarios where if I'm really wanting to be sure that something is going to come out properly, I'll switch the camera into a bracketing mode and I'll start taking bracketed shots. That gives me a bit of leeway two ways. First of all, it gives me the opportunity to have an under, an over, and what the camera thinks is a correct exposure shot or shots, because it gives you 3, 5, 7, whatever you choose to do on it. And also it gives you the opportunity afterwards, if you want to combine them in post-production with an HDR shot, you've got the ability to do that because you've got the raw material there. So I tend to like bracketing. Yes, it is a touch slower, but not a great deal on modern cameras. It's not fitted for every purpose, but if you're doing landscape shots or architecture shots or even portraits, you know, if you're doing a portrait of somebody, 3 little clicks is going to be fine, and it's going to guarantee that you're going to get the shot. Although I tend not to use it for portraits because I do tend to take a bit more care if I'm taking them for people to get the exposure right in the first place. So, what is bracketing? Well, there's different types of bracketing, but the bracketing I'm going to be talking about now is exposure bracketing. And very simple. Have a look on the back of your camera. Almost all cameras will do exposure bracketing. And I'm not going to tell you how to do it on your particular camera. At the minute I've got my GX8 in my hand, and that's what I've been using today with exposure bracketing. But basically, I was asked on this where I set my brackets to. Well, there's lots of different things. If I switch my camera on so I can actually see the menus as I'm talking about them, I'm not going to show you. You've seen the menus. You don't need to see the menus. But if I go to my menu set in by my auto bracketing, and this is my Lumix, and it's on the little red camera, setting at the where is it, up the top there, little red camera setting. And on this particular one, it's bottom of menu 2, but it's called auto bracket. And when I go into auto bracket, I can set it up for single burst settings or multiple burst settings. So basically I can do 3 separate exposures, and I can set it up. I've got mine set up to do the sequence as correct exposure as the camera sees it, an overexposure and an underexposure. And I'm taking 3 shots on this particular one, so I'm doing a 3 to 1 and a 1 stop apart that I've got it set to. That's where I tend to like mine, about a stop apart. But unless you see however many you're going to be doing there, and also what it does by doing the sequence or the single. If it's on single, I press the shutter once, it will take a shot on the correct exposure. Press it again, it will take it in the way that I've got it set to take 1 stop underexposed. Press it again, it will take 1 stop overexposed. Press it again, and it's back to the correct exposure. Now that's a bit of a pain, because if you're doing that, how do you remember which shot you're up to and all those sort of things? So I tend to put it on the burst, and what will happen is, I'll take a photograph of you here, and I've got it on 3 shots, a 3 shot with 1 stop difference between them. I press the shutter, and by pressing the shutter down, it takes 3 shots automatically for me. Do it again, and that will give me underexposed, that will give me correct exposure, underexposed, and overexposed. Now what I can also do, I can change this. I can change how many's in the steps. I can tell at the moment I've got on 3 steps. I can have them 1/3 of a step apart, 2/3 of a step apart, or a full stop. I can then take 5 exposures at 1/3 of a stop, 2/3 of a stop, or a full stop apart. I can even do 7 exposures, 1/3 of a stop, 2/3 of a stop, and 1 stop apart. And if I do the 7 exposures, and that's going to give me 7 exposures from 3 stops over to 3 stops under, and of course the correct exposure in the center. as I say, this is really good if you're doing HDR. It's really good if you just want to have that little bit of safety net. So give it a try if you can. As I say, all I do is set it on the auto bracket in the back on this one. There are different types of bracketing, as I say. You can get focus bracketing and white balance bracketing, all sorts of things. But we're talking about exposure bracketing in this one. And when I go to my quick menu, all I need to do is just to go on to my, where I select my shutter, whether I'm going to my shutter delay, or whether I'm going to do the high speed or the 4K or whatever on this one. And it's got the bracketing up, and I just need to switch it on or off. And if I switch it back off again, so quick menu, take it to single shot, and this will keep me just as normal single shot, and set the exposure up as the camera sees fit. So give it a try if you haven't tried it already. It is fun to try. It's a really good safety net if you're doing those shots which you really want to have a little bit of extra safety on there. And it is such a simple thing to do, and it works on almost all of the Olympus and Lumix cameras. So give it a go. Till the next time, be seeing you. Bye bye.